And that shit is just fucking crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I guess they're just doing that just in general. Mm.
In Central Texas, one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Tom.
Shit, silver and gold is flying right now, man. Or silver is flying, gold ain't doing shit.
And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
I would hang out and do that shit the entire time, dude.
And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together, we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans. All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America. Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children. Beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name it. I did not name that. Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $250 million to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children.
They're just showing premium.
They're great people.
But everybody that was buying or writing calls right now are probably crying. This looks super bullish on the Qs, so I expect an expansion higher. I expect price to continue to expand higher here. How do we make AI work for us? Okay. Oh, hell. Okay. All right. Let me just sign it. I'm not going to listen to that.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay.
So with modest additional
I would
contributions,
hate having to stand up every few
these
seconds.
young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for?
Okay.
Somebody that started with nothing, over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what was going
Dude,
to
that
what it
sounds
was
like an
going to
ad,
take.
dude.
So
Dude,
proud of
that
them.
sounds
I'm
like
so
an
proud of the
ad.
people that got it started.
Dude, like
Now it's
he's
just
talking
taken
about an
off.
ad
One
right
of
now.
the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit
Oh shit, let me make sure
7,000,
because
where it wasn't supposed to
Tradevate
do it
likes
for
to do
many
that shit.
years, were tariffs.
Yeah, Tradevate
I used
don't
these
cancel your
tariffs,
orders
took in
after
hundreds
the
of
session
billions
ends.
of
They leave
dollars
that
to
shit
make
right on the
great
chart.
deals for our
I
country,
had like
both
I passed a
economically and on
Tradevate
a
account that,
national
or
security
I
basis.
unknowingly
Everything was working
passed
well.
a Tradevate
Countries that
account
were
because
ripping us off for
I
decades are
left
now
some
paying
limits on
us
the chart over
hundreds
the
of billions
weekend,
of dollars.
and Tradify doesn't
They were
cancel
ripping us so badly. You
the
all know
orders.
that. Everybody knows
And
it. Even
it
the
had no
Democrats know it. They
stop.
just
It
don't
had
want to
no
say it.
target, dude. I
And
walked
yet
back
these
to, or
countries
I
are
logged
now
into that
happy,
account, saw that I had
and so are we. We made
$9,000
deals. The
just
deals are all
enough to
done,
pass that damn thing.
and they're happy.
I was like,
They're not
yo,
making money
what?
like they used to, but we're making a lot of money.
What?
There was no inflation,
Literally
tremendous
made
growth.
9K.
And the
Just
big story
didn't know
was
it
how
was
Donald
happening.
Trump called the
Just paid
economy
9K in
correctly.
the account.
And 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong.
Hey, what's up, investors?
And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal
right,
power
Scott.
that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
About that shit. Dude, I would hate that, man. I would hate that. I would leave. I was like, or I wouldn't show up. Dude, I'm not gonna stand up every freaking time you say something, dude. That's crazy. I'm not doing it. Now, if I choose to be a part of the administration, I will do my job to the best of my ability for sure. But I am not here to kiss nobody's ass. I am not here to kiss your
Moving
ass.
forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America.
And that's what I'm here
because
for.
we finally have a president who puts America first. Put America first. I love America.
Put forth that value. That's it. I'm not here for the, like the team building crap and all that other stuff. Like, dude, I have no need for none of that.
For decades before I came along,
crazy right now, man. I hate the fact that it missed my limit, man. I hate that.
From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in
regardless if you like
a speck of time.
I mean, I don't care.
Now, the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters,
what I don't
suddenly use the word affordability,
because I want to imagine myself in a leadership position. And just
knowing
imagine
full
you
well
appoint
that they
people, you put
caused
them
and
in
created
powerful positions,
the increased
positions
prices that
they probably would have
all
never
of our
been in.
citizens had to endure. You caused that
And
problem.
they get so.
You caused that problem.
I guess they forget who put them in that position, and when you need them to act on your behalf, they want to act all high and mighty and say, "Oh, I want to I want to make sure I'm doing the job at the bitch. I gave you that damn job. Damn it.
They knew
And
their
show some freaking
statements were a lie. They
appreciation.
knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty,
And in a world of
rotten
power,
lie. Their
honestly,
policies created the
that
high
type of
prices.
behavior
Our policies are
is not
rapidly
overlooked.
ending them. We
It's
are
not.
doing really well.
If you
Those
can bite the
prices
hand
are
that feeds
plummeting
you,
downward.
how can anybody, like, dude, how can anybody really trust you? How? How can anybody really trust you?
The
You
price of
literally
eggs
bit the hand that
is
fits you.
down 60%.
You literally
Madam
jumped
Secretary,
ship
thank you.
and
The cost
joined
of
another
chicken,
faction.
butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent
I mean, for me
is
personally,
lower
I
today
can't
than when
trust
I took
anybody like
office
that.
by a lot. And even beef, which was
mean, the only
very
thing we got
high,
in
is
this
starting
world
to
is
come
our
down
word.
significantly. Just hold on a
I think
little
that's
while. We're
like,
getting it
isn't that in the
down.
Bible? The first
And
thing
soon you
was
will
the
see
word.
numbers that few
That's all we
people
have in this world.
would
It's
think
our
were
word.
possible
And
to achieve just
when we
a
don't
short
live by
time
our
ago.
word,
Nobody can believe when they see the
mean,
kind of numbers, and
how
especially
can anybody
energy,
trust
when
you?
they see energy going down
How
to
can anybody
numbers
work
like
with
that,
you?
they cannot believe it. It's
At
like
least-
another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of
But anyway,
health care
if I appoint somebody in
caused
power
by you.
and they
Since
start
the
playing,
passage of the
I'm gonna make
Unaffordable
sure
Care
that when they
Act,
leave that position,
sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big
I'm gonna make
insurance
sure that
companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance
they're gonna
companies,
know
not for
that
the
every
people. With
opportunity
our
that they
government
tried
giving them
to be a
hundreds and
part
hundreds of
moving
billions
forward,
of dollars a
I'm gonna
year
make sure that
as their stock prices
they know
soared
that's me. But
1,000,
hey,
1,200, 1,400, and
you
even
let them join your team,
1,700%,
I'm gonna take that shit personally.
like nothing else. That's why I
I'm gonna take it
introduced the
personally.
great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost. In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
I thought this thing was gonna be completely different. I thought this was gonna be different.
Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually.
I feel like if
But they tried. They
I feel
said
like
they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't
it's
even
not
come
necessarily
close.
that people
They
tried,
were
it's
all
just that they didn't
talk
want to.
and no action. But I got it
Especially
done
when you're friends with
under my
people
just
that have
enacted
vested interest in
most
the
favored
things that you're
nation
trying to
agreements.
achieve.
Americans who have for decades paid by
It
far
just makes sense.
the
It's
highest
just in
prices
the realm
of
of
any
politics,
nation
nothing
anywhere in
gets
the
done
world for
because if you
prescription
start
drugs.
working for
Will
the
now
people,
pay the lowest price anywhere in the
well,
world
then
for
your
drugs.
friends,
Anywhere.
they
The
take the hit.
lowest price.
And at the end of the day, I mean, they're going to favor their friends versus that of the people. I mean, it's just politics.
So
It's
in
just human
my
nature,
first year of
really.
the
So
second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my
I ain't
most
gonna lie, that's
favored
kinda crazy,
nation
though.
program into law. Now, the one thing
kinda
I'm not
crazy.
sure it matters, because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along
You know,
after
honestly,
me to say,
I mean, I know that
let's
some women
raise
are
drug
unable to
prices
have
by
kids, but
700 or
I think
800%.
that
But
because
John and Mike, if you
how
don't
often
mind,
do we hear
codify
the
it
story,
anyway.
you know, of
They
a
may do
couple
it. Codify it anyway. Thank
that
you.
has trouble having
Many
kids, and
Americans
they
are also
don't have
concerned
kids,
that
and then all of a
energy
sudden the
demand
wife
from
comes up
AI data
pregnant, and
centers could
you know
unfairly drive
the
up
person
their
she was trying to have
electric
kids with
utility
is not the
bills.
father.
Tonight, I'm
I
pleased to
believe it's
announce
just
that I have
the
negotiated
combination
the
of
new
people.
ratepayer protection
Some
pledge.
people,
You know
when you
what
put
that
them
is?
together,
We're
when they
telling the
begin to
major
mix
tech
DNA,
companies
nature
that
is
they
like,
have the
nah, we ain't about to
obligation
make
to
that shit.
provide for their own
We
power
are
needs.
not
They
about
can
to
build
make
their own
this.
power plants as part of
We are
their
not about to take steps
factory,
back.
so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases,
That's
prices
what I
of
believe.
electricity will go down for the
That makes
community, and
sense to
very
me.
substantially down.
Nature is just saying,
This
nah,
is
we're
a
just not
unique
going to do that.
strategy never used in this
Because,
country before. We have an old grid. It
as
could
I
never
said,
handle the kind of numbers, the
we
amount
see
of
too many
electricity that's
stories
needed.
of
So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce
the
their
woman
own
having
electricity.
kids, and it's
It
somebody
will
else's
ensure the
kids. So
company's
it's
ability to get
not no
electricity while at the
infertility
same
issue.
time lowering prices of
But
electricity
there
for
are
you,
some
and
women that
could
are
be
just
very
unable to have
substantial
kids
for
due
all of
to
you cities and towns.
some form of medical
You're going to see
condition.
some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I remember that being a big
And now
thing
I'm asking
back
Congress
in
to make that ban permanent, because homes
20 or
for
during COVID, that these
people,
firms
really,
with the
that's what
low
we want.
interest
We
rates
want
were
homes for people,
buying
not
up
for
houses,
corporations.
and
Corporations
that
are doing
entire
just fine.
blocks were
Racel,
owned by
thank
an
you very much. Good
institution,
luck with your home. You'll get
and
one soon.
they were trying to rent out these properties. But it's how you going to rent out these properties if nobody doesn't have a job
We're also
and
working to make
is
it
able to
easier for
afford it?
Americans to save for
Now,
retirement.
I mean,
And
obviously,
under
those that
this
are entrepreneurs
administration, we will
and
always
make their
protect
money
Social
online,
Security
they
and
can't
Medicare.
afford
They
it.
are
But
not protecting it for our seniors. We will
I wouldn't want to
always
have a
protect
business model
Social
that relies
Security,
on a small
Medicare,
margin of the
Medicaid.
economy. I would prefer to have a business model that can take advantage of as much people as
Since I took
possible.
office, the typical 401k balance is up
Or
by
I
at
guess I
least
should say that provides a service
$30,000.
to, or
It's a
because,
lot of money.
or be
We have
accessible to as much
millions and
people as
millions of
possible.
people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Only a few people stood up at that one. Only a few people stood up. Like, man, you trying to take our money away? Trying to inside trade me.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it.
Damn.
Pass the Stop Insider
He
Trading
called out
Act
Nancy Pelosi
without
by
delay.
name. The best investor of all time. The best investor of all time. Her and her husband, apparently.
I wasn't sure if anybody, even on this side, was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. He'll get it done. Find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where corruption and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight, I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
So I wonder what. You said the world is about to see America. Oh, sell America. Oh, sell.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None.
I wonder if he's going to say
And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
You have to be alive. You can't cast a ballot from beyond the grave.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot.
Oh, wow. New York has a new mayor?
Just said they want
I didn't realize that they got rid of the old one.
To shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. The reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
Wow. How does stuff like that even happen? How does something like that happen? That's so crazy.
And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
It's crazy that you have to ban something like that. That's what's crazy. Certain things should just be implied. Or you don't have to talk about it because you just know that it's wrong.
These people are crazy. I'm telling you. They're crazy.
They act like children for real.
Amazing. Incredible. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? Huh?
It's crazy that some of those people are over 80 years old acting like children. That's crazy.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady, now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous.
I don't even know if that.
Really a tremendous.
I haven't looked at it. I'm pretty sure it's done nothing.
Support. She gets
I'm pretty sure I won't wake up a millionaire
support
tomorrow.
than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that.
Because I missed the damn Trump.
And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation
Trump coin is at $3.
Succeed and strongly
probably
succeed in the future.
Never.
Tonight we welcome two young people
I guess we'll see. That's
whose
just at
lives
$3
reflect
right now.
the First Lady's
coin.
impact.
The Melania
Sierra
coin
Burns
is at
and Everest Nevermont.
it's at 11 cents, so I'm down.
Thank you both,
actually.
and Melania,
I bought it at $1, and I scaled it at 50 cents. And I just said, well, whatever happens, happen. I only put like $50 into this damn thing, so I'm not gonna cry about losing $50. I got $21 of value of my original investment still in this damn portfolio. So I missed the pump. I mean, you never know what happens. Maybe one day.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion,
I think it
faith,
went from 30 cents to like
and belief
12
in
or
God.
$10 or some shit like that.
Tremendous renewal.
So I wish gold would do that. But honestly, K-Trader,
this is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with...
If it takes out that low at
my great friend,
if it takes out that low,
Kirk, a great guy,
992, we can definitely see a big move down for sure. So we can take that low out.
So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Dude, I don't believe that for a second, dude. She had to been reminded to miss her husband. I don't know, man. Her body language does not show that.
Been through a lot.
It doesn't
In
show.
Charlie's memory, we must all come together
it's not
to
even my business. I
reaffirm
really don't
that
care.
America is
But
one nation
based on
under
her body
God,
language,
and we must totally reject
it's
political
a scene
violence
from a
of
movie,
any
in my
kind.
opinion. It's a scene from a movie. That's how I'm gonna leave it at. I don't really care. I don't care.
We love religion, and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe.
You said, what
We have
happened last
made
year?
incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body.
That's crazy.
No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
Yeah, that's like the hardest thing, man. That's like the hardest thing to have to live with. Being a parent and no longer having your child here with us or with you. That's the hardest thing.
Stand? How do you not stand?
You wouldn't want to.
I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, shit. There's lines that you don't cross. You don't have to like somebody.
Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement.
I wouldn't want that
to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success. New Orleans, Louisiana, big success.
How long your life
and
is
our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
No one deserves that type of... No one deserves that thing.
In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And
That's
all
crazy.
because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, the mother and father, if they are still together, usually what happens when
So
children
sorry.
die,
Thank you very much. A
or
great young lady. I saw reports that were like
when the children pass on,
perfect. She's
usually what
perfect.
happens is the parents, they usually split up.
Serving alongside Sarah
Because
that
I
day
guess
was
it's,
Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly
If
make
one
it.
can't blame the other,
The two of them,
like
Sarah
saying
and
you're the
Andrew,
one
both
that
shot
convinced her to join the military,
violently in the head. Neither
it's
was
just
expected to
the
make it.
constant
They
reminder of
weren't
seeing
even
each
given
other
a chance.
and knowing that you had a child with that person,
His wonderful
and knowing
mother,
that that child is gone,
named Melody, who I spoke to
is
the
usually the
same night,
cause or the reason why
and she was so positive.
parents split up.
The doctors thought that Andrew was
It's just a
gone.
constant reminder of
But his
the
mother said,
reality
no,
that the
no,
child is
Mr.
just no
President,
longer there.
Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right.
Someone in the comment section say, why doesn't he apologize to the Epstein survivors?
Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
Well, I thought that dude was gonna lean in and kiss him, dude. I was about to say, dude, that would have been weird. I thought he was about to lean in and kiss him on his cheek or something like that. That was weird. I mean, shit,
We love
probably
you
is.
all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand, Pakistan and India. Would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared.
If this, I'm probably not going to leave this
And I
position
also
running
want to
overnight.
thank the man they report to,
I mean, if it's not going to,
Secretary of State
if we're not going to see a move
Marco
down,
Rubio. Thank you, Marco.
then just close it. But I'll leave it running until the end of the stream, and I don't see it perform any better than what it's doing now.
People like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever. Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. It was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job. And we're working very hard to end the 9th war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25.
Dude, that is insane, dude.
Soldiers are dying
That
a
is
month.
insane, dude.
A war
If that's
which would have
true,
never
I mean,
happened
if that's just
I
like
were
an
president,
estimate,
would have never
because you know, like
happened.
how with statistics,
As president,
like
I
if
will make
10,000
peace
people
wherever
die
I
in one
can,
day
but
and
I will
only,
never
like maybe
hesitate
2
to
or 3
confront threats to
die,
America wherever we must. That's why in
They just
a
say that,
breakthrough
oh, you know, this
operation last
amount of
June,
people are dying
the
each
United
day,
States
even though that's not
military
necessarily true.
obliterated
But
Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack
or
on
it's not
Iranian soil known
the
as
correct way
Operation
to
Midnight
interpret what's
Hammer.
actually going on.
Good.
A lot of bloodlines were taken off the map. With that many men being killed or
For
killing each other,
decades, it had been the policy of the United States
that
never to
sounds
allow
like
Iran to obtain a
depopulation to me.
nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they
And the
seized
crazy thing
control of
is,
that proud nation 47 years
Ukrainian
ago,
and
the
Russians,
regime and
they're so
its
close.
murderous proxies have spread
I
nothing
think the
but
only thing that
terrorism,
separates them
death,
is
and
that
hate.
one group of people call themselves
They've
Russia
killed and
or
maimed
Russians.
thousands of
The other group of
American
people call
service
themselves
members,
Ukrainian, but they're the same
hundreds
people.
of thousands and even
Some of them
millions
have
of
the same
people
freaking name.
with what's called
So,
roadside
I mean, that
bombs.
just
They were the
is
kings
basically
of
genocide,
the
in my opinion.
roadside bomb.
Self-genocide. They're just
And we
killing each
took
other
out Soleimani.
just
I did
because
that during my
they
first
called
term. Had a
themselves
huge impact.
by a different name.
He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protests, 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people.
All right,
They've already
I
developed
think that was
missiles
it
that
right
can
there.
threaten Europe
I think I'm about
and our bases
to, I think we're about
overseas,
to see
and they're
some
working
movement
to
in
build
gold.
missiles that
You know,
will
that
soon
sucks,
reach
man, because
the United States of America.
freaking gold is not
After
doing what I
Midnight
want, but
Hammer,
the Nasdaq
they were
is. The
warned
Nasdaq is
to
selling
make
off,
no
but not
future
gold.
attempts to rebuild their
What's up with that?
weapons program, and in particular,
What's up with that?
nuclear weapons. Yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong.
Okay. I mean, I think
Because
I don't have
hopefully
any.
we will seldom
I don't
have to
have
use
any
this
positions
great
on any of
power
my
that
funded
we built
accounts.
together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress who are investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed at my very strong request to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 2. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily with one meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently.
I wonder why the market is jumping like that at this area. We're seeing a lot of would-be volatility. The market just bouncing.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For one more dollar, we can have $1,776. It's going to I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. One more dollar, I said $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it. So we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen.
Yeah, that's actually true.
We're also...
That's actually true. You kind of forget firemen exist until... I mean, I guess technically, yeah, because it's kind of a good thing. That means that houses
We're also
are no longer
restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January,
finally, this position is performing a little bit. Finally.
In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very good. They couldn't believe, they all watched. They saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby, it's becoming so important.
You know, there might be a misinterpretation of what he means by space.
And America's armed forces overwhelmed
people probably think
all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy.
Talking about
good fighters.
Domain.
To end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
Space Force. That's where he's referring to.
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro, really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter. A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine guns stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, we probably would have had
That shit only works
maybe
when I don't take
cancel
damn
the
thing.
mission if that didn't happen.
When you take the damn
Eric
position,
told his
or
co-pilot,
when you open a position
also wounded,
like
but not
that,
as gravely,
that's when
to
it don't want to work.
take over I'm about ready to pass
where I
out.
work.
The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy. Eric and Amy, come on in.
Man, that's normal. That's normal.
So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like
Call
to
of
ask
duty.
General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg, we have it back, we brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House, and Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
I had a feeling that he was gonna be someone that was gonna be honored. They kept panning the camera to that guy, that same guy. Kind of figured that he was somebody. Like a guest of honor or something like that. He looks like that guy on the from The Wire.
Thank you, Royce, and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. 2 of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside, but that great betrayal is over and they will never be forgotten again, because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Hey, I've been practicing all this life, dude. Damn. All right, well, that's over. That's over. I didn't know that's what the State of the Union was. I thought it would be something different, honestly. But um, I guess he used this opportunity to talk about the things that his administration achieved and the people that were victimized by the previous administration and is quote unquote saved by the current one. So that's what I took from this. Um, hmm, yeah, but I'm gonna leave this position running overnight. I'm gonna leave it. It's a small position on gold. I think I lose about 280 bucks if I'm wrong here. It's a 6 point stop. I gave it, I think what, 6 more ticks.
You're looking at video now of President Donald Trump as he makes his exit from the U.S. House chamber. He has been giving what is now the longest.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna leave it running overnight. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this position. The reason why I took it short was because I mean we had this breaker structure. Um, it looks like the market wants to pull back and gather some more orders that are down here before continuing higher. But I mean, I guess the market could just go higher. I mean, I guess it could, but I'm making a bet that the market wants to go lower. Uh, we had the market make a lower low here. I mean, we saw it shoot up. It failed to take out this high. It failed to take out that high. We're seeing a consolidation. It looks like a triangle, a bearish triangle right here, which is basically a range. So I'm going to take the chance here that the market wants to go short. I'll take the chance. You can see that right now the market is in a triangle right now. So either we're going to see the market break out or break down. I mean, it's either or here. There's stops accumulating on both sides of the market. Uh, so silver is bullish though. So uh, silver is super bullish right now. It's taking out all this liquidity to the left. I do expect a pullback though, but we'll see if I can get into a position tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see if we get into a position tomorrow. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me tonight. I do appreciate everybody that joined. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. With that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.